Yeah, I've been here a few years ago on holiday, and it was really nice, but this time a bit different. Yeah, I think the first three stages are good stages to get in the flow of the race. Relatively short time trial, and then some more straightforward sprint stages should be.
Last season when you won, you said it was partly because of thanks to Vingegaard and Roglic as main favorites. How will you race now without those two?
Yeah, for sure. Last year was a unique circumstance with having them as the main guys in the team, and for sure everybody in the beginning of the race was looking at them, and I was able to slip into a breakaway that was very decisive. But yeah, this year without two main GC riders like them, it's different for me because I wouldn't say there's more pressure, but yeah, there's no one else to help or fall back on like yeah, two of the best GC riders in the world. So yeah, it just gives a different focus to the race.
Another one for Sepp from last week's Vuelta Burgos. What's your assessment of your form physically and mentally?
Yeah, I think the form is pretty good. I was a bit surprised to be good already in Burgos, but yeah, it's nice when it works out without expecting it. So for sure, it's a mental boost. But yeah, either way, it's always different in a Grand Tour, and yeah, most importantly, I feel pretty fresh for this race.
Sepp, do you think the fact that there's less time trial kilometers increases your chances of defending the title?
Yeah, for me, for sure, it helps. Every kilometer less TT there is. But yeah, I think in the Vuelta, it's a race that's always decided in the mountains. Especially this year, there's so many summit finishes that yeah, I think it's definitely more weighted to those. But yeah, with the TT on the very last stage, it still can be close.
You don't consider yourself the favorite, but how does it feel to start a Grand Tour with number one?
Yeah, it feels really good. Yeah, it's an honor to be here again as the defending champion, and yeah, I just want to race my best to honor the being the defending champ and everything that comes with that. So looking forward to it.
And Sepp, can you explain how bad your COVID situation in June and missing the tour was, and how you recovered from it?
Yeah, it was yeah, really strange, because the other times that I was sick with COVID, it was really no issue, just a few days feeling bad, and then I could carry on with my life. But this time, yeah, it took me so long to recover. Yeah, my lungs. Also, I was incredibly fatigued for many weeks. So at that point, I couldn't even have imagined just trying to start the tour. But luckily that all the complications went away, and yeah, there was a moment where everything started to click again, and now I feel normal.
And also for Sepp, UAE and Bora have incredibly strong teams. How do you want to beat them?
Yeah, they have the super strong teams. I think, you know, it depends on the stages. You know, oftentimes in the Vuelta you have such steep final climbs that it becomes a bit less strategic and just a matter of who has the legs or not. But yeah, there's a lot of stages where it can be tricky if those strong teams have multiple riders up the road or whatever. Yeah, there's always situations in Vuelta where things can be a bit less controlled. So yeah, there's just more riders to keep an eye on. But I think, yeah, just have to be be smart and be strong in the right moments.
How's your relationship with Roglic? You were there for his 3 times Vuelta win and 1 time Giro win. Will it feel, and how will it feel racing against him?
Yeah, it's a good relationship. Of course, now we're competitors, but yeah, I think you know, any race he's in, he's always a big competitor and one of the main favorites. So I'm sure everyone will be looking towards him. But yeah, it is always strange when you're used to being with someone in the team for so long and then yeah, racing against them.
And for Sepp, do you consider the Worlds?
Not really. My wife should be giving birth around those dates, so it's better that I'm around for that.
Do you consider João Almeida as one of the main favorites?
Yeah, for sure. I think yeah, he's always a rider that's up there in all races that he does. In the Tour, he was super strong. Yeah, and I think this year in the Vuelta, especially starting here in Portugal, it's extra motivation for him. So he's a big favorite.
Can you tell us a bit more about your recovery from COVID time, especially breathing issues, and how did you keep your mind healthy to miss the Tour and refocus on the Vuelta?
Yeah, it took a while for the lungs to feel good or normal again, but yeah, after antibiotics and everything, it eventually goes away. And yeah, I think, you know, missing the Tour was of course really disappointing. But yeah, I was not in a state to really think of it as a possibility, so I was quickly turning the page and focusing on what was coming next.
And question for both, what is the climb you fear the most in this Vuelta?
Yeah, I think the Cuito Negro it seems really hard. Also, the Picon Blanco is a really hard climb. It's really exposed and really steep.
And I have no idea.
They're all similar. They're all about the same. How steep.
It's my first time here, so they all on television. They all look awful. So probably I can confirm it soon.
Sepp, looking back at last year's Vuelta win, it was a historic milestone in US racing. How did that experience change you as a person and as a rider?
Yeah, it was yeah, really special, especially when I zoom out a bit and see what it means for yeah US racing, US riders, and yeah, I don't think it changed me too much as a person. Of course, yeah, when you have success in sports, then it always gives more expectation or more yeah, focus on you. But yeah, I think in some ways that makes it harder. In some ways it's nice to have the recognition, but yeah, it's always finding a balance.